Hello students, welcome to CrackGradeB online learning platform. So today we have a special guest with us, Miss Ritika. She has cracked RBI Grade B 2023 exam. So first of all, many congratulations. And today we will know her journey, that how she has prepared for this exam. She completed her graduation in BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering in 2016. So Ritika, we will know your journey, and our YouTube viewer will also want to know that how did you prepare for this exam, and you completed your graduation as a BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering in 2016, and you have cleared exam in 2023. So 6 year gap, almost 7 year gap. So what were you doing? What was your journey since 2016 to 23?
So first of all, thank you so much for having me and for such a warm introduction. And also thank you so much for guiding and mentoring students like us. With your guidance and mentorship, I was able to crack this exam.
Thank you.
So now coming to your question, after graduating, I sat to prepare for defense exams to join the defense forces of the nation. I got recommended also in my very first attempt. I was set to join the Indian Air Force, but my name did not come in the merit list. Suppose that saga continued for almost 2021. I was getting recommended, conference out, merit out. My name never came in the merit list. So I left it at that. Uh, Parallelly, also, I joined a coaching institute to teach students English and GK. That was also one of the best decisions that I took. It kept me engaged. In 2021, sir, I changed my career stream and I got diverted towards banking sector. I have cleared.
I will interrupt you. Generally,
Yes.
it happens that any aspirant who has decided a goal that she or he has to crack this exam. Then how did you shift? Means what encouraged you to shift towards this exam? So how did you decide you should appear for the banking exam from your goal? You were preparing for the defense exam. It is also very difficult to shift your focus from your goal that you were already targeting. And it happens. I have seen many aspirants who have
Yes, sir.
appeared in RBI exam itself 6 times. In last attempt, they have cleared.
Yes, sir. So I think practicality hit me. My attempts at SSBI Defense Forces were lapsing, and then I had to change my career stream. And banking sector is thought to be, it's perceived to be a very prestigious sector. And then at the top sits RBI. So I didn't know about RBI Grade B at that time. I did not know that there's a recruitment exam for RBI. But my primary motivation at that time was to have an equally reputed career goal. From defense to banking, the work is not entirely the same, but the reputation and the prestige of both the sectors are actually almost the same. So I will advise the aspirants that whatever you choose, you just put your 100% in your next career stream also, and be very practical in your approach, because life is unpredictable. You will not have all the attempts in your basket. So you need to change your career stream, be practical, just give it a good thought, and then you decide your career path. So that was the thought in my head at that time. I also cracked IBPSPO and NABARD in first attempt, reached till the interview stage, and then I was apprised of RBI Grade B exam. I prepared for it and I cleared it this time.
Okay. So it was your second attempt, and in first attempt you were not able to qualify for the mains exam. So
Yes,
what were the what changes you made in your preparation?
yes, sir. So the last time, sir, what happened that I had missed filling out the form correctly. I accidentally filled it for DSIM or DEPR, I guess. I was not even eligible for that post. So I did not even prepare for prelims. I was like, I'll, as it is, be disqualified. So let's not prepare it that well. So I did not prepare that well for prelims. But this time around, what I did, I decided that I will not take any stage lightly. For prelims, I identified my weak areas, which came out to be cons. So aspirants also, you need to understand your strengths and weaknesses. If you are weak in a particular subject, try to allot more time to that in your timetable. And if you are good at some subject, then also don't take that lightly. Practice for that also. But my approach was to fill out my weak areas first and then move on to my strengths. So this time I had solved approximately 1,000+ questions on cons before appearing for prelims, and that really helped.
So when did you started your preparation for RBI? Means, exam was in I think July, June end,
Yes,
June end, or no, it was on 9 July.
yes, 9 July.
9 July. So when did you start your preparation?
Okay, so many of the aspirants will not like me for this very candid truth of mine, but I had started my preparation after the notification came out, which I would not recommend to anyone. This is not a very good strategy to follow. You always have an idea that the notification is going to come out, and it will come out eventually. So you should start preparing at least a month prior to the notification coming out. I had honestly started preparing in May itself. It was out in April, I guess so. I had started preparing in mid-May. At that time, I was still recovering from getting merit out from NABARD. I was having that mindset, but I will not recommend this to anyone. Please start early for this. The prelims is getting tougher day by day, year by year. You need to start early. I had started in mid-May.
Okay. So what were your sources for the phase one, and how did you tackle the specifically quant and reasoning? How did you attempt in which topics you targeted that you should go for these topics? Because all 30 questions is not means anyone cannot solve all 30 questions in 30 minutes,
Agree, sir.
because questions are also lengthy, and they
Yes, sir.
have changed the pattern of the questions completely.
Agree,
So
sir.
how did you manage that in quant and reasoning specifically? And also then GA was totally different type, means mainly
Sure.
focused on the RBI circular reports.
Yes, sir. So, sir, as I've told earlier, cons was my problematic area. So I used to solve at least 15 to 20 questions every day of cons without fail. But this time, what I did, I solved the previous year question papers of IBPS PO mains, SBI PO mains, and RBI Grade B prelims, because the level of all these examinations are equivalent when it comes to prelims. So I did that. I used YouTube primarily to practice questions of cons. I had followed 2, 3 YouTube channels to practice for cons. This time I had strategized it a bit differently. I had qualified NABARD and IBPSPO, so I did not practice all the topics. My intention was to only focus on data interpretation, quadratic equation, and number series. I just wanted to clear the sectional cutoff of cons because I knew that I would compensate these marks in English section. So I just wanted to clear the cutoff. This strategy might differ among different students, but this was my strategy. YouTube was my primary source. Coming to reasoning, I was comfortable in this subject. I had given the bank exams earlier, so I only practiced from YouTube. I solved puzzles and other miscellaneous topics, and I was comfortable with my accuracy and speed. English, I'll be very, very candid here. I did not do anything because I have a certain background in English. I have been teaching English in my coaching institute. I did not do anything. And when the results came out, when the prelims results came out, I had scored 30 on 30 in English. And sir, now GA, the most troublesome area for all the aspirants. I was aware, I had done my research. I was aware that questions will be asked from RBI notifications, circulars, regulatory body circulars, and other miscellaneous topics. So what I did, I had bought your course. I did that from your course. I had practiced it umpteen times, revised the notification circulars and SEBI circulars from your course. It has been given in a very specific manner in your PDFs, which were very revisable, I would say. It was very easy to revise from those PDFs. I have this habit of studying from soft copies. So downloaded your PDFs, annotated it there only, tick marked all the important points, and then revised it umpteen times. Did not make any notes here. After doing all these things, I also covered last 6 months current affairs. I had one more coaching material with me. I relied on it for phase one and on your material. And in the end of everything, what I did, I followed marathon sessions on YouTube, which is released by many coaching academies. That adds a very beautiful and definite touch to your overall preparation. And then in final days, yes, so this was all my preparation. The factor which stood out for me this time was number of revisions that I did. And I would suggest this to everyone. Static part is also there in GA. A lot of data points, facts, and figures are there in GA. Please revise them thoroughly. You are bound to forget them when the prelims exam will come. And your content had also those questions in MCQ format. So that also helped a lot. I could solve the questions directly from there. So it was like giving real exam only. It was like simulating the real exam only. So that really made a difference.
Okay. Also, one more thing that this time reasoning was a little bit difficult for many students because many students failed by margin marks, 0.25, 0.5 marks in the reasoning sectional cutoff. So, what was your strategy in reasoning specifically? Which questions you targeted? You targeted puzzles or sitting arrangements, or you target miscellaneous questions plus critical reasoning?
Yes, sir. So as I said earlier, I found myself comfortable in this subject because I had given a few sectional mocks also, and I was scoring educately well. But you have mentioned a very good point here that there is a need to focus on miscellaneous topics also. We all run after puzzles because we think that it will contribute the majority of chunk of marks or questions in the exam. But please be also very thorough with your miscellaneous topics like blood relations, alphabet series, number series, seating arrangement, and critical reasoning. So what I did, I started off by solving all the miscellaneous topics in the exam first. I did not straight away go to puzzles. Because what happens now, when you're not able to solve a puzzle, you get demotivated.
Yes.
And that really does, you brings you back. So you end up wasting a crucial time also, and then you lose that mental stamina also. So I will advise this to aspirants that do not go to puzzles first. Solve other miscellaneous questions first. That will give you confidence.
Yes, in every session, whenever I'm guiding for the phase one, also I'm telling the students this thing that first attempt the miscellaneous question because suppose you started, you are very good in puzzle. Suppose you are, but
Right,
there is
sir.
exam pressure that is different thing. And in pressure, suppose for you are writing X, but due to pressure we are writing, we will write Y and we will
Yes,
never able to find that what mistake we have made in that puzzle. We will never be able to find, and time will
yes,
be
sir.
lost, and then you will get demotivated. And once you are demotivated, you will not be able to solve further questions. Even you can solve, but once time is lost, then automatically pressure will increase and you will lost. Yes.
Yes, sir. I thoroughly agree with you, sir. This should be the strategy. One should do like this only.
Okay, now comes to the phase two part that is also important and hardly there are 25 days between the phase one and phase two. It was on 30th July, I think. So 21 days gap and also the result was not yet declared. Means on 15 or 16 result was declared.
Yes, the 18th it came out. 18th July it came out.
Yes, yes. After result only 12 days. So when you started preparation immediately after the phase one or before you have before the phase one you also have studied the phase two content?
Sir, again, I will be the devil's advocate to reveal that I did not study for mains at all before giving prelims. Again, I would not recommend this to anyone. If I were to write mains again in 2024, I would not do it. I would at least study some content of phase two before sitting for prelims. And I would strongly advise this to everyone. I did this mistake, but I have been lucky, but it will not happen to everyone. So I did not have the luxury of time to prepare for mains before prelims. I was working also, I was occupied, but one should always finish at least 30 to 40% of main syllabus before sitting for prelims. Or at least you can complete the management part of it or the social issues part of it. Or you can mix and match always, that is up to you. But you should complete at least 30 to 40% of your main syllabus before sitting for prelims. What I did when the prelims was on 9th July, I got this idea that I will clear the prelims. I had understood. So I did not waste even a day. We did not have many days in between. The mains examination was scheduled to be held on 30th July, if I'm not wrong, 30th July. So I had utilized those 17, 18 days in between. 10th July, I made my strategy. 11th, I was in full throttle. So from 11th to 29th, I had divided my days into slots. I took leaves from my office. I did not go to work. I divided those days into slots of 3 or 4 days. 3 days for finance, 4 days for ESI, 2 days for management, and like that, and rest of the days for revision. So this strategy might work for a few because I had a previous little bit advantage of giving NABARD, maybe that perhaps helped, or maybe I was comfortable in writing answers that helped. But again, be very thorough with your strengths and weaknesses. A word to the wise here would be to do integrated preparation, to complete your somewhat main syllabus before sitting for prelims. I did not do that. Thankfully, I did not have to regret, but this is how I did.
So what were your sources for the phase 2 preparation?
Yes, sir. So I had one coaching material content with me for ESI. I had watched a few lectures, but here I would say that 85% of my preparation centered around your material. I had thoroughly utilized your material for economics and social issues. For finance, I 100% relied on your material. It was a new subject for me. I did not have any idea. I come from a different background, but your content, and also, sir, one thing which stands out in your content is the conciseness of it, the brevity of it. It was very concise. It was to the point. And one thing was that you had inculcated all the topics of the syllabus. I want to apprise the aspirants of the fact that this time RBI had tweaked the syllabus. It had added a few components in finance syllabus, which were completely new, costing and accounting, if I'm not wrong. And you did not waste even a single day in putting those topics in the course. So I did complete preparation of finance from your notes, from your content. Management also. Management, mein one thing I did, I am not very good at cramming facts, and it all contains of raw material and learning. So what I did, I took your PDFs and made very micro notes of your PDF. I culled it down also, your PDF also, your notes also. So that was about finance and management. Economics and social issues, again, your content helped. For objective part of it, I relied on your material for government scheme. One thing I would like to tell the aspirants is that Crack Grade B's material for government schemes is the best out there in the market, because A, your material for government schemes is ministry wise, which makes it very, very feasible for one to learn and understand and to inculcate the points in mains examination. And secondly, apart from one liners, your government schemes material also contains of MCQs. And in objective, you only deal with MCQs with regards to government schemes. So those two factors stood out for me. I had done equitably well in objective part of ESI just because of that content that you had provided. Reports also I did from your scheme, your source. One thing extra which I did was for static portion of economics and social issues, for topics like poverty, globalization, sustainable development, I referred to the international websites and I picked out the staple definitions from those websites. It's just a one-day task. I would recommend this to everyone. Do that, because you know that authenticity does help a lot while writing your answers. And it does add a gravitas to your answers also. So do that. And I was obsessed with facts and figures. So I had taken a lot of facts and figures from various websites like Indian Brand Equity Foundation.org, websites of MSME, finance, agriculture, and farmers welfare. Please go on the official website. I would highly recommend this. Go on Vikaspedia. Go on these websites which contain authentic and raw information and data. I did that. Also, whenever your MCQs would come in the content, whenever it had some data or relevant information, I would note it down somewhere to use it in mains also. So this time in mains, my answer had a lot of authenticity and weight in them, just because adding a lot of data points and figures. So, and also I was keeping a great eye on what reports were coming up. Because finance and economy reports, as it is, you need to do. So there was this one report on world migration report, if I'm not wrong, I'm forgetting. Perhaps it was my
World Development Report, and
yes,
the
sir.
title was the migration in that world report.
Migration. Yes, sir. I had prepared that report, and by God's grace, it did come in the mains examination. And I had a hearty laugh. I was just very, very happy to see that report. I had prepared notes out of it. So you need to do it like that. You strategize it like that. Please keep a close eye on current events and happenings and reports which are coming up. Again, your content helped. And sir, yes, sir. One main thing I'm forgetting. Your 100 top 100 MCQs, most important MCQs, top 100 government schemes MCQs. I think I have no words for that content. Uh, those PDFs really helped me widely and vividly in scoring good and objective and descriptive part of mains. Those are some wonderful questions out there. And I would like to also tell the aspirants that a lot of questions directly came from that content. And I was able to mark the answer.
Also, that is happening in every exam, and
Yes, sir.
those MCQs, specifically top 100, are being created by me only.
Yes, sir. I was so baffled at that time that this question only I solved in sir's website, on sir's website, and this, verbatim has come in the examination. And my joy knew no bounds. So here again, an advice would be to please revise the content that you have prepared. For mains, I had prepared notes and revised your PDFs. So this was the preparation mantra.
How many months current affair you follow for phase 2?
So, okay. So for phase 2, I would say last 4 months I did, along with reports, along with schemes, and landmark schemes also one needs to do for economic and social issues that always come. And there were a few schemes which were in news. So you had, yes, you had that content also, schemes in news. So that also I did. So this was my mains preparation. Again, I would say 85% of it was dependent on your material.
So, some students always ask that one should study PIB website themselves. So, did you follow that? Means, did you study directly from the PIB website, or
Uh,
schemes from the government ministry website? This is also a general query of the students.
Yes, sir. So right now, in the middle of this interview, all of the aspirants who are watching must have known that I did not have the luxury of time. I started preparing for mains only after giving prelims. So I did not go on PIB's website and on ministry's website to read the scheme. So there also I followed your content. PIB I had forgotten to mention, but you had a tab for PIB also. And in MCQ format also you had given PIB. I did both. First, I read the content of PIB, then I solved the MCQ that you had given. So that would also give me some confidence that yes, I've read the content and I remember the facts and figures. Yes, you can go on PIB's website also if you don't have any course or you want to add a few more data points to it. But I don't see the ROI in doing that. I didn't see the ROI in doing that. I had your course. I did not do that. On websites of ministries, I went, but just to pluck out some data points, not to cover this. That I did from your course only. But if you want to do that, you can go if you have luxury of time. I did not have it. I didn't do it.
So, for the descriptive writing, so what strategy you followed, and how did you prepare for the descriptive writing specifically, and how you wrote the answer in the final exam?
Yes, sir. So for descriptive, first of all, I was aware of the fact that I need some heavy content to write the descriptive answer. I cannot just write random answers. That will not fetch me any mark. So aspirants also, whenever you are preparing, first of all, have some content and material with yourself. Then only went on the saga of writing the descriptive answers. Do not just straight away write the answers just for the sake of writing them. First of all, complete your topic, have some material on it, then only write your answer. So again, time was not on my side. So what I did, I just started collating all the material, revised it thoroughly, and wrote perhaps 5 or 6 answers. Totally for FM and ESI. Again, not a very handsome step here, but then I was comfortable in writing answers because of my previous stint with NABARD. So I did not do anything specifically there. In your portal, you did provide a few mocks, uh, descriptive mocks you had provided. I had written my answers there only. I had written some 5, 6 answers. I was comfortable with the answer writing that I was doing. And for the second part of your question, how should one write the answer? So my strategy was I always started with the introduction. If the topic has asked me about climate change, I would try my level best to start it by putting some data point or fact or figure there, or mentioning some report that as per, for instance, as per UNFCCC report, climate change is described as this. So that used to be my strategy. I would start with introduction. Then you should also satisfy the demand of the question. If it's asking about why, please do not write about how and what. Only write about why. So that used to be my strategy, to be very definite and precise in writing the answer. I have seen aspirants doing this mistake. They write around the question. They do not write on the question. This can make you lose some marks because you need to be, very accurate and brief and concise with your answers, to the point with your answers. So then I would, after introduction, I would go on to the body, which would again satisfy the demand of the question. I would always give conclusion to my answer with a subheading conclusion. And my conclusion would always be forward looking and optimistic. Even if they had asked me about the adversities of climate change, my conclusion would not contain any negativity. It would always be fruitful. It would always be forward looking and recommendatory in nature. So maybe you can apply that. I also tried to put on some information from international websites like Sustainable Development Goals. I would try to put in my answers that according to SDG 13, India has been doing well on climate change, such points. So all in all, the crux of the matter is that if you have good material, if you have good information and content with you, you will write beautiful answers.
Yes.
And second thing, please also try to stick to the demand of the question. I've seen aspirants doing this mistake. Even if you don't know much about it, then also don't beat around the bush. That will not appease the examiner. That is not something which is very enriching. So try to inculcate these two things in answer writing.
Okay, so and many students generally ask us also that how should they go for this our material? Means how should they study? Means what strategy you followed? Means what was your day routine, everyday routine? What was your everyday routine while you were preparing for the phase two?
Yes, sir. So my study time had stretched by 2, 3 hours to study for mains. I would study at about for about 10 to 12 hours every day. And here also, your timetable will play a major role. You need to strategize. I could not even function for a day without my timetable. In my timetable, I would mention the subject that I have to study in this and this time slot. You should also do that. Your content I had utilized in such a way that I went subject wise. If today I'm completing economics and social issues, I would keep the syllabus by my side. I would go syllabus wise, see that topic in your content, would read that, would revise it, and if I need to add something to it, again, data points and facts and figures, I would put it on the PDF that your content had. So here I went syllabus wise with regards to your content. And students should do that. This will give you a lot of clarity. Syllabus should be your Bible to prepare for this examination. And your content is not very random. It is not at all random. Everything is in a sequential format only. If ESI tab is mentioned, it will contain all the topics of ESI static, and then you will move on to government schemes and reports and PIB and current affairs. So aspirants need to go in this manner only, syllabus and your content in a sequential manner. This is what I did.
Okay, one more thing that government scheme, a lot of data, facts, a number of schemes you have to cram.
Yes.
Yes, and there is no other option, no other alternative that you cannot skip the schemes because they can ask from any ministry schemes and they're asking.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
how did you manage the schemes, facts, and figures?
Yes, sir. As you have said, there is no escape it from schemes. One has to go about reading these schemes, that too in detail, because these come in prelims also and in phase two also. So, what I did, again, I had strategized in this manner only that I will go ministry wise. And since this is RBI grade B, so I started with Ministry of Finance. Then I moved on to different ministries, MSME, Family and Health Welfare, and other ministries, Ministry of Fertilizers, and this and that. I started ministry wise. And then you always have a few landmark schemes that you need to do every time. Like for finance, I would say Atal Pension Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. And also, again, I was talking about keeping an eye. These schemes were recently commended by the Prime Minister also. That these schemes have completed 8 years and these schemes have done really well. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana also. So you need to see which all schemes are being talked about. So what I did was, first of all, I did the schemes ministry wise. These will not take you more than 5 6 days if you are preparing from the scratch. After that, I would see schemes in news because in budget also they release a few schemes. That also you need to do. Like they had released a Mishti scheme this time, Vishwakarma Yojana scheme. So these schemes also you need to do. So first you go ministry wise, then you go schemes and news, and then third, just to go back to the original content, do the landmark schemes thoroughly because they have been asking questions from landmark schemes. So these three things you can do.
Okay, so now comes to the finance and management part. For descriptive writing, any specific strategy you followed?
Yes, sir. So finance was a completely new area for me. It was an unexplored area, and so was management. Again, my reliance was completely on your notes. Here, I did not do anything else. Finance, I went syllabus wise again. I took out the syllabus, I saw the topics, found them in your content, revised it thoroughly. Wherever I felt I was not getting the concept, you also had finance videos in your content. So I relied on them also. Here I also used Google extensively. For any concept I was not getting, I would go to Google or YouTube. Management, as I've said earlier, I was not comfortable with the idea of writing down all the topics. So what I did, I prepared micro notes out of your content again. Here, what I did, I tried to dabble in uh, the anecdotes or examples of a few great personalities just to add beauty to my answers. Though it did not work out because the questions were not as such, which came in mains. But being a woman aspirant, what I did, I picked out the names of a few famous women personalities like Indira Gandhi, Sucheta Kriplani, Sarojini Naidu, a few other role models. And I tried to find out a line or two about them just to put in somewhere in my answers. You can try doing that. I could not do that because the questions were not such, but these things that adding that customization, that personal touch does help. In management, I did that extra. Yes, so this was it for finance and management. Yes, here also, I had read your content n number of times because some new topics were also added. Costing and accounting, I was not very comfortable at. So you had given, there's a PDF of yours on that, which also contains a few numericals and ratios. So I did that thoroughly. God has been kind. No question was asked from that, but your contents are fine.
Okay. So now left with the English descriptive. So you were English teacher also. So that was not a difficult part for you. So what will be your recommendation or advice for the future aspirant for English descriptive preparation?
Yes, sir. So
Being
you
English
will,
teacher,
you will,
being an English teacher.
surely, sir. So you will be surprised to know that despite being an English teacher, I still prepared for this subject this time in mains because I did not want to leave any stone unturned. I just wanted to give my best shot. So for English, what you can do, you can pay more attention towards essay because essay contains a major chunk of your exams in of your exam, descriptive exam, and a huge chunk of marks also. So in essay for essay, what I did because I was also simultaneously preparing for ESI, and everyone will be preparing for ESI and FM. You will have the material with you. You will have the content with you. You need to choose at least one topic out of 5 topics and try to choose that topic which you can write, on which you can at least put some good data and content. Choose that topic. I had chosen a topic which was somewhat on climate change, this time in English, and I had good content on it. Please do not write very long sentences in English essay because when you write long sentences, you tend to make more grammatical errors. Also, be wary of spelling mistakes, punctuation errors. This you need to practice. I will suggest practicing on MS Word because it will show your errors, or on your mobile or your PC or laptop, you can put an application called Grammarly. Grammarly also helps a lot. It will pinpoint your mistakes. So for essay, you need to practice. Also, an advice here would be try sticking to the word limit. The word limit this time was perhaps 600 words for essay. I had managed to complete it on time. 600 words only I wrote. You can also try sticking to the word limit. It does fetch good marks. And again, because this is an examination to join RBI, so try to link your essay with the current financial landscape of the country. I think that would be a smart step to do, smart thing to do. Because in NABARD, we were told to link it to agriculture. So in RBI, you can link it to economy or finance, your essays. Presse, I would say, just pick out any random newspaper article and try to cull it down. Try to cull it down to 1/3 of it. Again, newspaper articles or any random articles on the websites will help you. Reading comprehension, you should have a good reading speed. Try to read in between the lines. Try to understand the content and then write the answers. Again, please do not make any grammatical errors here also. It's not just for the essay. You cannot make any grammatical errors here also. And again, be wary of spelling mistakes. I would recommend this only for English.
Okay. And one more important thing, that you were having only 20 days in between your phase 1 and phase 2.
Yes, sir.
So were you able to complete the content, our content? So, and also revision, you told that you revised also. So how did you manage? Means were you able to revise? Means were you able to complete the complete content and able to revise?
Sir, I'll be very honest here. I was not able to completely sum up the entire content of yours because I was diversifying a lot. As you know, I have said it in my interview, I have diversified a lot. So I was not able to complete the content, but the most important content and the most significant part of it I had done, revised it also a number of times. Because there are a few topics in which you are already comfortable. So I had not studied those properly. English also, again, I did not do a lot in English. So I did not complete the entire content, but I had revised ample number of times the majority of the content that your portal provided, comprising of schemes, reports, ESI, FM. So few topics I had left at it, but majority of the important topics I had sufficiently revised. And that played a major role in clearing mains. I could see that I'm able to answer the objective questions with ease because I had solved a lot of MCQs on your portal. So that helped.
And you were able to achieve the word limit in ESI in finance management descriptive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, comfortably. I was sometimes I was beyond the word limit also, 5-10 words. That does not hurt. But yes, I was always able to complete the word limit. In English also, in ESI and FM also.
Now comes to the interview part, and how did you prepare for that, and what was your experience in RBI board?
Yes, sir. So, post giving the mains, when the results came out, I had gulped down the fact that RBI interview can make or break your selection. And sir, I had heard it from the previous aspirants, the fellow aspirants, that RBI is really notorious in giving marks. Like it does award marks in single digits also, and then it gives marks as much as 72 or 73 also out of 75. So I was highly perplexed. But then I also did not want to prepare for this exam. I hope no one wants to, but I had my own reasons. So I had taken this stage very seriously. Also, my interview was scheduled to be held in November. So I had time. In between, I had NABARD prelims also. So I started preparing in late September. So my pillars of preparation were again RBI website. There is a PDF called RBI Working and Functions PDF, RBI's annual report, RBI's YouTube channel to add some information from the codes given by governors and deputy governors, and biodata. So these were my pillars of preparation. And your second part of the question was how was my interview? How was my interview? How was my experience with the interview board? So again, there was a lot of air that the panel is cordial, but sometimes they're grilling also, and they are asking a lot of engineering questions to the aspirants, to the candidates who are from engineering background. So luckily, I did not face any such question. The moment I entered the interview room, the panel was highly cordial, highly cheerful, and that made the room's ambience very light and warm. So I was pretty confident and I greeted them all, and they started off with my biodata only. All of them had my biodata. They were using an iPad or something. They were cross-checking facts. They were asking questions out of it. There was a panelist who asked questions specifically from banking and RBI. And he told this to me in advance that now I'll be specifically talking about banking. So now you be ready. The questions were regarding financial inclusion index, uh, CRAR. How do you inspect the health of an NBFC, of a bank, the parameters that you look into? About gold, they asked me, why does RBI hold gold? That also. So the questions were in and around RBI, asked by that panelist. And others were HR questions asked by other panelist members, on which I could answer. A few times when I could not answer, I politely apologized. I did not bluff around. I did not make any guess because I had no idea. Candidates can do one thing. If you have a certain idea regarding a question, what you can do, you can seek their permission politely. That, sir or ma'am, can I make a guess? If they allows you, then do nothing like it. So try to do this. And if you don't know the answer to a certain question, then it's the best way to come out of it. Just politely say no, and then that you will read about it in future. I did that. And after my interview got over, somehow I had this feeling that it went well and I might score well. The scorecard is not out yet. I don't know my marks, but then my interview experience was really fun.
How was the result experience, the final result experience? So, what was that
Uh,
moment, and how did you come to know about the result?
yes, yes. So again, there was a lot of tea in the Telegram groups that it will be out by the evening or in a day or two. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be out on 13th December because the interviews had just gotten over by 8th December. Um, I was sitting among my family members, and the moment it came out, I could not see my result because of anxiety. I just dropped my phone and I was like, I quit. I do not want to see my result. My father and uncle did. And I was reciting my roll number in a broken voice that, okay, this. And they gave me a big thumbs up that your roll number is there. And I remember screaming at the loudest pitch possible, crying also because of mixed emotions. I was very overwhelmed. So was my family. We all hugged. We all cried. We all were very, very emotional. But then, what a great moment to cherish for lifetime. And it only got possible because of mentors like you, because of God, because of my parents' blessings, and people around me who knew what I was going through. So, yes, sir, it was that.
One more question I would like to ask. Uh, Previously, you have means appeared in many exams and you were not able to achieve the final destination of any exam. So,
Yes, sir.
how did you keep encouraging yourself?
Yes, sir. So,
Because this is the most of the students, many of the students are facing this. Today only the NABARD result is declared. So many third time, second time, they are not able to qualify for the mains. They were not able to qualify for the RBI mains and many other exams. So for those students, and I want to know that what encourages you.
yes, sir. So, I completely understand the pain of the aspirants because I was also on the other side for the major part of my aspirant life, I would say. So, what I did to motivate myself every time was to never lose hope in myself because I always knew that I had it in me and I will crack it one day, and that one day will come. So, to bring that one day closer, what you need to do is that first of all, please do not take any stage of any exam lightly. I have committed this mistake. I have been pretty overconfident in one or two phases, and that has given me the result in a negative manner, of course. Do not do that. First would be that. Second would be to keep your family and friends close. I think this emotional support also plays a great role. You need to have a very good and encouraging friend circle, peer circle, and of course, your family will always be there. Third is to understand the demand of the examination because not every examination is same. So you need to understand what this examination demands out of you. Are you thorough with the syllabus? Are you thorough with the pattern? Are you thorough with the eligibility? And guys, always play on your strengths. You need to understand your strengths and weaknesses. So one thing I want to highlight here is that please do not follow any topper blindly because some things which might have worked for us might not work for you. For instance, I had stated that I had made online notes, I had made digital notes, I did not uh, put any notes on paper. So do not blindly follow me here. If you're comfortable in writing your own notes and handwritten notes, do that only. Do not harm yourself by switching to online or digital notes. Many a time I've seen aspirants doing this mistake. Always pick out relevant information advice from a topper's video strategy and then imbibe that in your preparation curriculum. Never ever blindly follow any topper. I have also seen a lot of topper videos, but I always, at the end of the day, prepared my own strategy. You also do that. Even if you have seen my interview, again, do not pick out everything. I have given caveats wherever possible. I've told you I've made mistakes in this journey also. Do not repeat that. So be smart like that. And the last thing would always be to have confidence in yourself. Remember, if I can do it, if someone else can do it, you can also do it. And you need to have right resources at hand. There's a lot of junk on the internet, on YouTube. You need to filter out the content that serves you the best. So this would be my 2 cents for the fellow aspirants.
And one more question, two, three more question I will ask.
Yes,
So
sir, no problem.
Telegram, there is a lot of misguidance and material sharing and lot of things going on that. How
Yes,
did
sir.
you uh, keep yourself away from these such things?
Yes, sir. So, Telegram also had become a major hurdle for me while I was preparing for the mains examination because an aspirant definitely will go on Telegram because you actually get a lot of content there also. And then the coaching academies pages also you follow, which give out a lot of right content. So, what I used to do now, I used to only follow a few channels, a few relevant channels, and I had unfollowed all other channels which would sometimes threaten or scare aspirants also that this time the difficulty level is going to be high. this time this topic has more chances of coming into exam. But how would you know? Matlab, how does that person know? So I had made this thing that I would only follow the authentic content, authentic Telegram channels. Other Telegram channels I'd either snoozed off or unfollowed. So again, you need to do that. If you think that that is creating hurdles, do not get misguided. We all are smart people. We all are living in the right age. So try to keep yourself away from all that, and you just do yours, do you. You only focus on the content that you have in hand. Again, something reminds me of the fact that uh, do not follow 10, 12 sources, resources. But what you can do, you follow one, two resources and you revise it 10, 12 times. That would perhaps help more. Because this time I can say with certainty that revision helped me. Revision brought me here. Cracking in the last stage would always be a problem for me, sir. I have been merit out in IBPSPO in NABARD. This time I got merit in because revision made all the difference. So revise amply.
And one last question.
Yes.
In this competitive world, aggressive marketing is going on. So how did you choose a crack grade?
Yes, sir.
Because many students and lot of questions we generally receive from the aspirants that you why we should go for your content is economical also, and you are claiming it is the good, it is concise, and almost and many students tell us that out of 10, 7 are recommending crack grade B, but your price is so economical, and there are other institutes they are at higher prices, and aggressive marketing is also there. And then how did you decide?
So I'll start by saying that CrackGradeB has been a savior for me in this journey of mine. And I'm not sugarcoating this. I'm saying it with utmost honesty. How I chose CrackGradeB because I had been following your Telegram channel and YouTube channel for some time now. And when I was strategizing my preparation for RBI Grade B, I realized that first of all, you gave the best content, the most concise, the most brief content, and the selections that you were showing were also genuine. I had seen that on your Telegram, this thing, and the fact that many toppers were recommending your content. Again, I had said that I had watched a lot of topper videos, and they had Pallavi Jan ma'am had recommended your content. I remember her name. She was very sure of your material. So I made up my mind like that. And you have a few trial PDFs also on your website. I saw them also. I realized that this is the content I want to go through. I had purchased one more material, but then I diversified. I had my own reasons, but your content stood out again because, sir, there is a proper organization on your website on CrackGradeB. When you purchase sir's course, you will realize this. You might not understand it because I'm saying it today, but when you purchase and buy his course, you will understand what I'm saying. You will not miss out on any topic. And sir, one more thing, what this might be amusing. I had relied on your course for phase two. But what I perceived was that your course gives more than what you people claim. That I had purchased it for mains, but I could also rely it for prelims for phase one because you gave those PDFs, those data points, that content. So I was like, ये तो मतलब एक पे एक free वाला लग रहा है, वैसा लग रहा है because you give
Yes.
out yes, give out such relevant content. This also was something that I applauded you people for. You give more than an aspirant deserves or desires. So I think that also adds to your preparation.
Yeah,
I don't know if many people have noticed that, but I noticed it. And English also, it was only for ESI and FM, and sir's content was also there for English. And I was like, ki, nothing like it, nothing beats that.
thank you for such wonderful words. And uh, I believe this session will help many aspirants who are struggling at different stages of their preparation, and it will definitely motivate many of them. And thank you for being here with CrackGradeB in today's session. And I wish you good luck for your future journey. And once again, many congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me and for conducting this wonderful session. And all my best regards and wishes to fellow aspirants.
Thank you.